There's another piece that I really want to highlight here, another major flaw, which is the lack of native language assessments. California, for example, where I was a teacher, it has 1.25 million English language learners, a quarter basically of the English language learners in the nation. Most of these are Spanish speaking. The state has obstinately refused to actually develop a native language assessment. It has been working in developing a native language assessment, but has refused to use it for No Child Left Behind purposes. So what's the problem there? The problem is that the most effective program of instruction for English language learners is primary language instruction, dual language instruction. You build on the literacy of the native language in order to teach English and teach content at the same time. Well, bilingual programs are effectively penalized when you don't have a native language assessment in that language, because you are teaching the child in one language or in two languages, but then only able to show results in English. And so that inconsistency has really harmed bilingual education programs. And so current law does technically require the use of native language assessments, but it says, well, to the extent practicable, you must use native language assessments. And most states, including California, have said, it's not practicable. But we don't intend to focus on that piece. And it's really around sort of cultural divisiveness and the same negative impulses that led to Proposition 227 in California. So bad politics have impeded native language assessments. So under the House draft that we support, we would actually put a trigger to define what practicable means. And we would say when 25% of the English language learners in your state speak one language, and you have 10,000 or more English language learners in your state, then it's practicable. You will develop and you will use a native language assessment when it's appropriate for kids in bilingual programs. So that's going to be a boon to bilingual programs moving forward. So we really need to move forward on making these improvements in the law. If we, as a lot have suggested, including some here today, if the process bogs down and if Congress is unable to muster the political will necessary to fix the law doesn't go away. The requirements with which no one is happy does not go away. Current law continues, and current law is not serving English language learners as well as it should. So we're advocates of moving forward with fixes to the law to make sure that English language learners can be improved or can be included in appropriate ways. So in conclusion, I'm getting my flashcards here that I'm going on too long. We're very invested in moving forward with this year with a package that includes the improvements that I've discussed here, as well as several others. But there has been a benefit to No Child Left Behind broadly, even under current law. And that is the fact that we're no longer discussing whether we should educate low-income students. We're no longer discussing whether English language learner kids can learn. We're discussing how we can make that happen. When I was a teacher, I taught 12th grade, hold on one second. I taught 12th grade English. And as a young teacher, they assigned me to the kids who needed the most help, which is very common. Latino kids are likely to be taught by less qualified, less experienced, less well-paid teachers. And so basically what has happened in terms of curriculum for many low-income English language learner students and Latino students is that they're put in pull-out programs that slows down the curriculum, slows down instruction, so that by the time I was teaching seniors in high school, I had seniors, many of whom could not read and write effectively at grade level, who couldn't write a paragraph. So No Child Left Behind has really put that on the front page of local newspapers and national newspapers, and here we are even discussing what we need to do better to serve ELLs. These were discussions that didn't happen as much before No Child Left Behind. So it's increased the transparency of our education system, it's highlighted inequalities. It hasn't done as much as it needs to remedy those inequalities, though. But my basic message to this crowd is that we need to move forward. We can't just give up on education reform. Clearly, No Child Left Behind has some issues. We need to fix those issues, but we just can't afford to go backwards. So I think with that, I'll make sure to leave room for questions. Thank you.